How to make your own Schlieren imaging setup. Have you ever wondered how it's possible to see hot air rising, to take detailed images of shockwaves, and see Mach diamonds from an air compressor? It seems pretty complicated because air is almost completely transparent, however it's much more simple than one would think, and a good setup doesn't have to be expensive. If you've seen some of my other videos, which I recommend you do, Schlieren imaging has been very useful when developing rocket nozzles as well as with hypersonics. It can be a powerful tool for makers who are interested in anything involving propulsion, fluid dynamics, or shockwaves because it displays the otherwise invisible density gradients. Some of my first Schlieren setups used lenses and projected the image onto a surface instead of directly into the camera. These were remarkably bad with low sensitivity and high distortion. A much better way to build the imaging setup is with a spherical concave mirror, often sold for telescopes. Even large mirrors can be surprisingly cheap with little impact on the final image quality. You will need one of these mirrors, as well as a cell phone camera and some 3D printed components whose models are available in the description. I will also be making a webcam-based version for better resolution and high-speed imaging. 114mm mirrors with a 900mm focal distance are extremely common and cheap, so that's what I'll be using in this video. Now for the assembly. The first step is 3D printing all of the components. Support is optional but recommended. Clean all the parts thoroughly, making sure to remove any stringing between parts. Use double-sided adhesive or glue to secure the mirror to the mirror holder. Be very careful not to smudge or scratch the mirror surface, as that will show up in the final images. Then, once the mirror is securely attached, place the cover over the mirror to protect it from damage during assembly. Moving to the stand, start by inserting two number 832 or M4 machine screws into the outside holes of the base, threading them through the plastic. Then use glue or adhesive to secure two roughly 10mm diameter springs that can be anywhere from 20 to 30mm long. Then use about a 25mm thread-forming screw and use it to compress the springs so that the mirror can be pivoted about the central screw by adjusting the perimeter screws. Slide a cell phone into the clip stand and use the extending block if it does not snugly fit. Place the mirror at a distance of twice its focal length from the phone's camera, which is about 1.8 meters for the 900mm focus mirror I'm using. Now it's just a matter of alignment to complete the setup. You're going to want to turn your phone's flashlight on while recording video, as this will be your light source. This is often way too bright, so using a small piece of tape with a pinhole over the light will make sure the image isn't washed out. For very bright phones, you might need to put paper tape before the pinhole to block even more light. Traditional Schlieren setups often use a knife edge to block the deflected light, but you won't need that. Cell phone cameras are so small that the edge of the camera aperture itself does an adequate job of blocking deflected light. The alignment can be tedious because the tiny spot of light cast back by the mirror must be aligned perfectly with the center of the camera to work. Use the adjustment screws on the mirror for this, and observe the image on the phone display to make sure that the light fills up the entire mirror. This can take a long time and be very sensitive to minor movements, so be patient and work in a darkened room so you can see the reflected spot better. Adjust the exposure as necessary, and now the setup should be complete. A good first test is a lighter flame or a candle flame because those produce lots of distortion, and you can make sure your setup is in focus and the exposure settings are right. Flame plumes are also very visually interesting and display lots of turbulent vortices as the hot air rises. A well-tuned setup doesn't even need a flame to see thermal disturbances, as my body heat also causes air to rise from the back of my hand. Another slightly surprising test is regular compressed air. Typical compressors create plenty of pressure for supersonic flow, and this can be seen from most shop airgun nozzles. Now that this works with a cell phone camera, I can also use a telephoto webcam to have better optical zoom and higher resolution. These will need a separate light source, but a simple LED will work for these. Alignment is essentially the same as with a cell phone, and it will get images and video of a much higher quality. With this imaging ability being so easily accessible to the maker community, I recommend building one for yourself and experimenting with other interesting invisible phenomena. Let me know in the comments if you have any build questions that I didn't fully answer in this video.